Aldermen of Cumberland City met in regular sessions on Thursday, March 7th, 2024 at City Hall. All members were present. Also in attendance was City Recorder Kristen Mathis, Levi Page with the Stewart County Standard, Tina Ramsey with Stewart County Stream, and also several city residents. Mayor Vaughn called the meeting to order at 5:05 after the close of a public hearing and called for the reading of February meeting minutes. They were approved on a motion by Milliken, second by Gunson. No unusual expenses were reported. New business, second reading ordinance 2406. An ordinance 2407, an ordinance to amend the zoning map of map 123 parcel 1000 portion lot 1, 2, and 3 agricultural to residential. A motion was made by Gillum, second by Milliken. Roll call vote. Motion carried. Next, Chief Smith came before the board to update them on the process of getting the new police truck outfitted. Smith wanted to let the board know that the cage out of the Tahoe was not going to work on the new truck, and asked for the board's opinion on getting a cage. The cost of the cage was going to cost $1,031.20. After a short discussion, a motion was made by Gunson, second by Milliken for the purchase. Roll call vote. Motion carried. Next, the Park and Rec members came before the board to ask to hold a lighting up the Cumberland pageant. The funds needed would be around $1,000 for supplies, trophies, crowns, and concessions. After a short discussion, a motion was made by Gunson, second by Milliken. Roll call vote. Motion carried. Next was Resolution 2406, new water reconnecting fee. During office hours, the reconnecting fee will be $25. After hours will be $50. After a mention from Alderman Milliken to add a business hours 7 to 4:30 to the resolution, a motion was made by Gunson, second by Milliken. Roll call vote. Motion carried. Next, Alderman Gunson stated that the fire hall was holding the Easter egg hunt Saturday, March 30th, 2024, and asked that the city furnish the candy, not to exceed $300. A motion was made by Milliken, second by Short. A roll call vote. Motion carried. Next, Recorder Mathis wanted to bring to the attention of the board the vandalism happening at Grice's Creek Boat Ramp. After a discussion, the board asked that Mathis reach out to the Corps of Engineer Jeff Hancock. Next, Recorder Mathis wanted to speak to the board regarding the Brownsfield grant. On the grant application, we need to have a project idea. With that, there has been talk of a multi-building project, that being moving City Hall, police office, and possibly an event center to the old W.T. Thomas location. Mathis wanted to ask the board's opinion on adding this project to the grant application. After a discussion, a motion was made by Gunson, second by Milliken. Motion carried. Next, Melissa Dunlap came before the board with some complaints towards the city. After a discussion, Alderman Milliken stated that he and the county mayor would be more than happy to personally purchase an honorary sign to place on Congress Street for Mr. Dunlap. Alderman Milliken stated that he is trying to offer everything he can. Melissa Dunlap responded with, "I will be honest with you, Dad did too much in the city to settle for that." Mayor Vaughn called for other business. None was brought forth. A motion to adjourn was made by Milliken, second by Short. Meeting adjourned at 5:35 p.m.
You heard the reading of the minutes. If there's no additions or corrections, do I hear a motion accept as read?
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Are there unusual expenses?
No, sir.
Chief Smith.
Yes, sir. Regarding our vehicle situation, Sheriff Frankie Gray has been gracious, very gracious to us all this time in loaning us a vehicle. There at the outset, he loaned us a older model Ford Explorer. Here lately, Zach has been driving a Ford Crown Vic, I believe it's a 2005 model. And not only has he been gracious enough to loan these vehicles to us indefinitely, I was on the phone with him the other day. He's now offered to give us this Ford Crown Vic so that we will have a spare vehicle. And all he needs from us is a letter from me stating just requesting the vehicle. And as a side note, I feel like it'd be appropriate for us to, I don't know what it would be, but do something to express our gratitude towards Sheriff Gray for all he's done for us.
He hadn't backed up a time.
Not once,
Not once has he backed up.
no.
All we need to do is ask for it.
Yes, sir. That's it, just a letter.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carried. Water issues with access.
It has been brought to my attention that both, when we read meters, that there's been a couple fences put up to where the water guys are having a hard time getting to that meter. They're having to walk all the way up to the house, come all the way back down, or if there's dogs in the fence now. I spoke to Erin, they have an ordinance that we can do that gives us, cause it's the city's meter. So we have to have access to get that to have the reading. I mean, we don't have anything that's electronic, nothing like that, so we have to have access. So I just wanted to bring this to you guys and see if you guys are okay with me making that ordinance, because it's getting to be a problem.
So ordinance on keeping it free to where you can get to it, or ordinance prorating it?
No, where we get to it, but I guess if we can't get to it, I can put in the ordinance that we prorate it, or that we will, The only thing is we need to get to it eventually to get a true reading. I mean, what if they do have a leak and they, we prorated at 5,000 gallons and they used 10?
Yeah, but it'd have to be trued up every now and then, be met and trued up.
That's what I'm saying. We'd have to be able to. We have out in the county, we have a situation that's arose that they put up a fence. Guys can't get to it. I mean, they
And
have.
put a biting dog inside of it.
Yeah. The person's been contacted. He's working with Mike to maybe get the meter moved out of the fence, but he still has to pay for a reconnect or a tap fee in order to get that meter moved. So I just wanted to, so if we could set something in place, because right now we don't have an ordinance saying that.
For sure an ordinance, but I don't know about if it becomes too much of a problem. It could even be an ordinance to prorate it and have somebody come out and met every 6 months, say, or whatever, and true up whatever usage there. If they got a leak, that's what's going to
It's
hurt
going to
them.
show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can put that in ordinance, but I wanted to speak to you guys and then come with the first reading next month, because then we can do a public
Yeah.
hearing for 3 ordinances in June.
Well, so why don't we make it to where it is an ordinance, you trying to provide access to that, and if they won't provide access, they have to trip either a quarter or every 6 months or whatever.
And the leak is on them. 'Cause they won't
Absolutely it is.
know. Okay.
Water bill's water bill.
Okay.
Probably no more than 3 months, because if you get too far,
Yeah.
Quarterly. Yeah.
you could, and even if you turned it off.
Well, and that's the other issue that arises. If they don't pay their bill, we can't get to it. How are we going to turn it off?
It's true.
Well, yeah, doggone.
So I guess the only thing we
Yeah,
can do
you're
is
gonna
have
have to
a
have
police
access.
escort and
Yeah.
have
you're
them
gonna
put the
to
dog up to get to the meter.
I think Mike has worked out
He
something
has,
with him,
but
I
it's-
think
it's-
so.
Yeah, but it's gonna come up again.
It has in the past, and we've kind of overlooked it. But we have an instance where there's a barbed wire fence that the guys have to go through, and it's come to my attention. The individual came to me and said that if a cow gets out, it's on the city, because the guys are going through the barbed wire fence and they've pulled the fence down too far, and it's bent his fence. So
That's a safety issue too.
I think that if we make this ordinance, we may have to go back on the people that are even grandfathered in and say, listen,
For sure.
this
Gotta have
is
access.
what's going to have to happen.
Yeah,
So-
that's, yeah, I'd say that too.
Okay. All right. I'll make an ordinance up.
Do we need to vote on that?
We can do it.
No,
Because I'll do a
just
first
bring it
reading.
in, we
Yeah.
will then,
Yeah.
we will then, not now. Pay scale,
I gave you guys a little spreadsheet, I guess you could call it. The cities 1, 2, and 3, that's what their current pay scales are right now. That first column is what our pay scale is right now. And so, I just kind of wanted, it had been, it's been talked about, like, if our employees are happy. We do have, we are a little behind on pay scale, which I know we're Cumberland City, but I just wanted to get that to you guys to kind of show you where we're at on pay scale. Because I'd hate to lose an employee for a couple dollars, So we have 2 really good officers, and whenever you're looking at officers, they're the most changing ones, and I'd hate to see them leave for a couple dollars, so. Or any of us. We have a really good group down here, and sometimes finances are what you gotta move for.
And what is this, a 10 to 12%? Is that right?
12%. That's not even, that's not even getting us up to scale. That's just getting us closer, I guess you could say.
And funding this increase?
We had some, Gary knew and I knew, we had some CDs that Miss Cheryl had at Regions that I didn't know about until Mr. John Poole asked me about how those were doing. And so last year I was able to move those to Traditions, and we got, for all 4 of them, I got it at a rate of 5.9. So with that interest that's gonna be on that would cover this increase if you guys wanted to do it, if the mayor and you guys wanted to do it.
So fully funded by basically
Interest.
interest. I like it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I think people would leave for a couple dollars more. I mean, because everyone wants money.
And I mean, the other cities are still higher above us, but working here, we have to all know that this is Cumberland City. We don't,
Population wise, a lot of
you
them
know,
Yeah,
are
but
more than us.
and we
you
are
got Mike here, one of the employees for how many years?
22,
22. You've been here.
6. I was my 7th year.
I make a motion to do the increase as long as we're funded. I'm
We're funded.
100%.
Now, like I
for it.
said, this is not something, I mean, this is getting us up to a little bit closer across the board. But this is what we have.
One
I
other
mean,
question
Yes.
is the annual increases of the 3%. Is that included in this right here?
Mm-mm. No.
And that comes when?
Oh, you don't have to do it. I mean, that's.
I understand.
Yeah, that would be
when does
next. That would be every year.
Yeah, every year. But this year, 24.
Mhm.
Is there an annual increase for 24, or is this the annual increase?
I guess this would be the annual increase.
Okay,
Me and Gary
that's-
haven't talked
that's-
about it.
That's the question I'm asking.
We'll
Yeah.
present it to y'all for sure, in May.
So next meeting. That's why I wanted to get you guys this to show you what the other surrounding cities are doing.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% for it. I was just asking about the,
No, we haven't done anything.
okay.
So this right here, this first column is what our pay is right now and was done last bill.
Right. But
Am I understanding right? I'm so sorry.
not really, but what it is I'm saying your annual increase typically every year, whether it's
Yes.
3% or 2%, that's included into this increase.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. This would be what the increase is for the
this
budget.
Yeah. Do we need a motion in that?
It would help. I mean, you guys are
Motion.
gonna motion it on, for the
Yeah.
budget.
I'll
We'll
make a
present
motion.
it to y'all next month, and we can vote then. I mean, we don't have to vote now, but it's just, we'll work it up and present it to y'all in May.
The other thing I wanted to say on this too, this employee that's at the bottom, that's highlighted, that employee came to me and asked if that was something that was reasonable, because there's opportunity for her somewhere else that's with that pay. So we'll talk about that, but I don't wanna lose anybody on our team
Mm-hmm.
for a few dollars.
Understood.
And 2, if we lose some of them, we're gonna have to send them to school, and that's gonna cost us.
Yeah, training is
Yes,
Yeah.
costly.
very costly.
That's all I had on that one.
All right. Update of the Brownsfield grant.
Update, so we are good to go. I'm gonna send her, these approved minutes, what we talked about last month on putting that project on the application. She said that she's got everything except for these minutes and we're good to go. We're applying for it, so we'll know in the next couple weeks if we've.
No, within a couple of weeks?
She said it should be a couple weeks if we were, gonna be able to be to get it.
Oh, nice.
Right.
So the way they're
That'd
talking, it'd be,
That'd be great.
because they're wanting to get this money out this year.
We're ready to receive it.
That's what
this
they're, I
year.
mean, on their, we'll see if it happens.
Right,
Because
right.
every grant says that, but I mean, they seem like they're wanting to get it out, like start getting payments out like November. So,
That would be wonderful.
and that's where we are on that.
And so it's turning in when?
she turn it in tomorrow. When I email
Okay.
her our approved minutes, I'll have a mayor sign it and I'll send it to her and good to go.
Right.
Sounds good, great.
Everything
Great
else has
job.
been turned in, so.
Grasses Creek Boat Ramp.
You guys had asked me to speak to, the Corps of Engineer. I got with Mr. Jeff, Hancock. Really, there's nothing that can be done. He said that, you know, you can, the way he, Chief was gonna call him back, because the way he explained to me, we could charge him at a federal level, but I don't know that we can do that because we're only city. So like, if they were down there doing vandalism, destruction, whatever they were doing, we could charge him at a federal level. But Chief wants to talk to him about that because he's not sure about it. But he said to put up cameras, do things like that. Maybe put a sign up saying, okay, if you guys come down here and get caught, you're going to be prosecuted at a federal level. You know, it may keep, you know, instead of paying a $50 fine, which what they would get here, they would be paying. And then he said we can also impound their vehicle until they paid for the damage, plus pay for their impound, you know, their vehicle to get back. If they're caught down there with ATVs or four-wheelers or anything like that. He said we could, as a city, he said, he said that we could impound their vehicle and make them pay for, you know, the rehab that the destruction that they've done, and then before they can even try to get their impound out.
Can we do that now?
Yeah, that's the way he explained it to me. So Chief was gonna call him back, he called him back, he said he didn't answer him, so I wanna get, you know,
He's gone.
yeah, but that's where we are on that. I mean, there's nothing we can, other than putting up cameras, there's nothing that the Corps can do, is the way he understood.
Okay, so we need to put up a sign then.
Yeah, because he said it's federal property, so they could be prosecuted at a federal level.
Well, then that's what I think we should do, put up the
Yeah.
sign.
Because there's gonna be a lot more activity going on up there.
Especially with the
Yeah, I
TVA
mean,
boat ramp gonna be
this is
closing
what
down.
we got coming up,
Mhm.
so, yes,
Okay,
but we gotta do something.
but he, like I said, Chief's gonna reach out to make sure that when it comes to the
So you're saying
municipality,
chief, you're talking about,
Chief Smith,
okay,
he's gonna call because we're just a municipality. We just do, you know, municipal court. We don't do
right.
general sessions or anything like that. So he wants to know how that would go. Could he arrest them if he was down there and send them to general sessions, or you know what he can actually do? But there's something that can be done because I mean it's got to
That's
start
perfect.
getting done.
Let's,
But he said he'd put up a sign and say, you know, you get caught down
I
here
say we for sure put up a sign, 110%.
because it's federal property. It's not city. I mean, it's technically not our property. We maintain
We
it.
just lease it.
But we lease it, so it's still federal, it's the Corps of Engineers, so.
Definitely think we should put up a sign, that way we can make sure that we're covered under any kind of citations if we do there.
So, Kristen, we do have a written lease. It would be important for Chief to know we have a written lease, so we've got a lease interest in that. Then I think that might give us the right to prosecute in general sessions.
That's what he was like, I don't know how that would go, or we would send them, you know, cause right now it just means to the court, but we can't, in our court system, do a federal, you know, it's just a
No,
municipal.
But because we do have a written lease, we have leasehold interest.
Okay,
That would be just like me renting a house and me saying I can't do anything about these kids coming over here and vandalizing my basketball goal, even though I've got no trespassing no trespassing signs in the yard. I think this might be the avenue if you let everyone know all of that. I think they might could go to session.
okay.
Let some creative lawyer argue that there's no jurisdiction.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
then pull out the lease and we've got a leasehold interest.
Okay.
I totally
Yeah, we
agree.
have a lease, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure somewhere in the lease it makes us responsible for returning the property in the same condition and
Guaranteed.
no damage. Guarantee it's.
Yeah, I know it's in there to maintain because someone comes down and surveys it, make sure we're mowing and everything like that every so often.
I think that's your ticket that can, if we can catch them, get them in sessions. Written lease.
All right.
Update on the ordinance for the citations.
So I spoke to former Chief Gillespie because I could not get a hold of Gary Jagle. So he hasn't contacted me back, so I don't know where we're at on that. Former Chief Gillespie said that when he was here, the reasoning for the citation not being able to write citations, so when we wrote that ordinance and I sent it to Gary Jagle for his approval, It
We
was,
did not have a
Sorry.
one-way street.
we did not have a one-way street, and we cannot do a one-way street. So Jason said that he, under his, what he thought, we could still, first off, we could still give them a ticket for littering. If there's trucks down there and there's a 2x4 right behind their vehicle, and the officers go down there and catch them, we can ride them. You know, there's stuff on the ground that's not supposed to be there. So, but the other thing is I can try to send to Gary and see if we can't push for the tarping and being on the side of the road whenever it says no parking.
You're right.
We have signs up that say no parking. So maybe take the other, because Jason said it was because we had both of those things, one-way street and the tarping on the same ordinance. That's why it was kicked off.
So we need to put them on a separate order?
So I said, well, okay, well, but I want to call, before I go through making that ordinance, I want to talk to Gary Jagel,
That makes sense.
make sure that that's something that, we can do before I present you guys with the ordinance, have it kicked out again. Because I had presented you guys with the first
Right,
ordinance. It got, Gary said we couldn't do it, so
Okay.
that's where we are on that.
Have we got a street we can make one-way?
Well, Chief Smith said he wouldn't agree with making that, the industrial park one-way either, because it would cause a lot of problems down there, because we can't make it one-way at all. Because you can't, what we were trying to do is make it one-way for the trucks. We can either make it one-way for everyone or not one-way at all. And he said it would cause a bunch, is that what you're talking about? He said it would cause a bunch of traffic and problems. He said he wouldn't agree, but that's up to y'all. If you guys wanted to make it one way, the only way to make it one way is to make it one way for
I know
everyone.
Tennessee Ridge has got no trucks.
We have
Going up by the
signs.
middle school,
I don't know.
and that's a state highway.
Mm-hmm.
Ask Tennessee Ridge how they do that too.
Okay,
Ask
for
her.
a one-way, would that be Tennessee Ridge or Erin? Right
Tennessee Ridge,
there? Okay.
Tennessee Ridge. Update regarding open public meetings.
I was informed today by another city recorder that there was something passed with MTask that for anybody that wants to be on the agenda, the only way that they could speak during an open meeting is to be on the agenda with a written of what you're going to talk about, and you'll get 3 minutes. So from here on out, after this meeting, the agenda will be posted. I'll try to post it Mondays. This is kind of for the public. Try to post it on Mondays. That way anybody that wants to come in, you'll have all day Monday to let me know what you want to come and talk to the board about that Thursday coming up. And then you'll be able to speak and you'll get 3 minutes. But Gary won't know more after, today, be like, is there anything else come for the board? If you want to talk to the board, you have to be on the agenda. And you'll have 3 minutes to explain your issues or concerns.
Where are you gonna post it?
I'll post it on the bulletin.
Tell the bulletin board.
But anybody can call and tell me they want to be on the agenda. I mean, you can call me 2 weeks before if you want to, so.
Anything else come before the
I would just like to say the Easter egg hunt was a good success.
good?
We did over 1,400 eggs, and they did like vacuum, and they were gone in less than 5 minutes.
How did the money work out for the eggs, Candy?
Good.
That was good.
Yes,
Good
we had
amount.
plenty, yes.
Okay.
And I spent 300, so
Yeah.
that's what
Perfect.
I stayed about
Okay.
300.
We had
I was a little worried about that.
just a little bit left. We kept running out of eggs and going back and getting more plastic eggs.
Okay.
But when we got up over a little over 1,400, we said, well, we're quitting doing the eggs.
Okay.
And we had just a little. But I went to Walmart the other day and caught the eggs on sale, and I got some more eggs for next year.
Okay. Well, if we need more, I mean, I can run and try to order some or something that, because they are on sale right now, so. All that stuff is, so.
And they did return our eggs. The
Oh.
kids emptied them and gave us the plastic shells back.
Good, good.
Great, nice job.
Nothing else come before the board, I hear a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay.